on for the morning routines. Welcome to the choreography workshop. We're not actually starting our next piece until Wednesday. Today I just wanted to work on just kind of a few base techniques that will help with everything. This because there may be things that you don't particularly pay attention to just because there's so many other things, but if you concentrate them a little bit, they will help everything. So, you know, in ballet we have like a class of basics every day in your professional life. You know, strangely enough, I guess in other genres we don't necessarily have that. So I do like to go through a few things that are going to be generally helpful for our next piece. So, so I know I talk a lot about our square. That is our square here. So we have 2 corners and 2 corners here. So we've got a square right here. Now, this is super important because this is what keeps our balance. And just generally, it allows us a greater freedom of movement rather than distorting that square, because if we keep that square together, we can move quicker. You know, we're not dragging anything behind us, and if we have to make some movement, we'll always be on our leg. We'll always have that security of balance. So I know we've done these many times if you've been here before, but let's just repeat those, and we're going to do a few other exercises for that square because it is so important. So, you're putting your legs a little wider than your shoulders, and you bend your knees, and think about this square. And the thing is, you don't want it to tilt, you don't want it to go different direction, don't want it to bend. If you distort it, you want it to be deliberate. So right now, we just want to keep it where it is, and it's like you have a flat surface here, like a table on counter, and you're going to slide that square along it onto your leg here. So if you need to, you can pick up your leg, but right now we're just gonna slide it from leg to leg, all your weight on it without tilting it, without tilting your shoulders. Just going back and forth, and trying to think about that square. Of you, and it's the same thing. Think of that flat surface there, and moving that square back and forth. And switching to the other leg. Square, remembering that, and that'll be a little distortion, but very little. I want to keep that very, very minimal. And coming back up. So we talked about this too when you need to suddenly hold a balance, or when you need to turn, when you need to be over that leg. Again, very important. So the movement is you're shifting that square over your leg and then picking up your foot. So even if you're going quickly, you know, we've done this before in piece, the process is you are putting that foot down, you're moving your square over it, and then picking up your leg. So that is very important. So again, keeping your legs at a little distance, you move that square over your leg, pick it up, just a little balance. Overachiever, you can try opening that leg out, kind of out and in, but without losing your square here. So you see, it's just the leg moving. I'm not distorting that square. And putting your leg down, shift it to the other foot, and picking up your leg, and going nice and stacked over that leg. And it out. It's just your leg moving. You want to keep that square right where it is. You lose the square, you lose your balance. It's coming down. Now, if I'm going to be taking steps, what style you do, but this is taking, I want you all to be learning. So when you're stepping forward, instead of stepping heel toe, I want you to step kind of like an ice skater, but they're bent down a little and they're pushing off more. I want you to step and bring that square right over your leg as you step. So you can always lift up your leg if necessary. And then you're stepping through it and bringing that square with you. So your weight is coming right over your leg. Instead of having a gap there. So right over your leg, right over your leg, right over the leg. I have to keep rushing back and forth because otherwise I'll get out of the camera. Why is this important? You use this a lot. Again, it's a balance thing if you need to pick up your leg suddenly. Also, in a lot of dance techniques, you need to move quickly. So when you're moving forward, you want to bring that weight right with you. And you've seen people warm up for some kind of a sport and they're moving forward. You want to have that prepared and ready to go. It's also important, we talked in the last piece about turns. We were doing stepping turns and bringing that square with you as you go around. Also when you're pivoting, you want to do the same thing. You want that square to hold in position, but that will help your speed and that will help your movement. That will keep your balance, that will keep you over your leg, and you'll have nice tight turns there. So that is, these are just things like I want you to think about. I'm going to remind you as we go through our next piece, but these are things you want to use everywhere. Hi Mario. Hey. So, on that note, let's do another little exercise, and what we're going to do is we're going to swing one leg forward, just in front of you, and we're going to keep that square, right? So my square isn't going anywhere, my leg is coming up. You can point it, you can not point it, however you want to do it. And then it's going to come down, so it's going to come down straight to the floor, right? Boom. So I'm going to end up where I was. Your weight comes to the middle. And then I'm going to pivot. So I'm going to take that square, and I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. And then I'm going to shift it onto my leg, and swing my right leg to the back. And back it down. Shifting it again. And shifting it to the leg. And swinging it through. Let's do that to the other side. So you're swinging your leg to the front. And you're putting it down. 180. Sliding it through. Lift it up a little. Go to the middle. Shifting that 180. And sliding it through. So, also another thing is when you're doing the slide through is try and keep your legs as close together as possible. Also when you're walking, you don't want to have a gap here. I know it will distort a little to have your legs pointing inwards instead of being stacked, but it is a better visual if you're keeping your legs closer together, just as a general thing. So let's do a couple of isolations. Again, this is where you just move one part of your body. So keeping everything still. I'm just going to lift up your right shoulder and let it down. And your right shoulder. So it's like it's pulling up. It's probably coming from that here, pulling up towards your ear. And then down. Ear, down, ear, down, and ear. And down. Other shoulder. Ear and down. Ear and down. Ear and down. And ear and down. And let's do both shoulders at the same time. Ears and down. Ears and down. Ears and down. And ears and down. So you can have this kind of movement. And whenever you're doing your pieces, very often you'll have isolations front to back. Little small ones up at the top, So that's something we do need to practice because it does not generally happen very naturally. So that's just something to practice, just doing the shoulder isolations one at a time and together. Okay, so another little thing I wanted you guys to think about is this is kind of to enhance your body movement. So I want you to put one leg in front of the other, just a little bit, and I want you to just kind of lean towards that leg. So putting your weight there, and then we're going to shift to the back leg like this, right? So this is going to be our movement. But when you're shifting back, I want you to start here in just kind of neutral position, and I want you to stretch up and up and up and up. And I want your shoulders to lead that movement to the back. So you're here, and I talk about what leads the movement. That is kind of just more kind of the feeling of what is driving the movement. So I want your shoulders, so you're going to pull up in your middle, and the shoulders are going to pull you back. So you can see there's a difference whether I'm shifting to my back like this, or if I'm doing a nice smooth movement that uses my whole body. It's much more expressive. You can also say like, whoa, you can, or, you know, just be moving backwards. This is just adding a little more of that body movement that makes it smooth and lyrical and beautiful. So you're pulling up here. Shoulders pull to the back. Let's do that on the other leg. Even it out. So you're on your front leg, and you're just going to shift it to the back. Now we're going to pull up your middles and let our shoulders pull back. And leaning forward. And the shoulders are pulling us back. Forward. Don't forget that you're pulling up your core as well. Forward and back. All right, well, let's do one more. We've got a little time this morning, so let's do our arm movements. This is again something, we've talked about before, but it takes a little practice. Is that, so if you're gonna lift your arm, however you're lifting it, wherever, whichever direction, whatever style, I want you to think about your elbows. So we do this in the Get Ready for the Day routine. We always do like kind of an elbow lift. And I want you to think about your elbow driving the movement. So if I'm lifting my arm to the front, my elbow is going, and then the rest of my arm is following. Let's see, that gives us, again, a much smoother movement. It's a little more juicy instead of just lifting up your arm. You've got that nice leaning into it. You can give it a little bit of shoulder movement too if you want. This is one of those moments where you can bring it a little away from your square, but just be conscious that you're doing deliberately, and that'll make your line a little bit longer from your shoulder. That's side, that elbow, your other arm, and out. Same thing to the side. You're bringing it out to the side. Using your elbow, and the rest of your arm is following. And you're bringing it up, and your elbow is driving it, and your elbow is driving it, and your elbow is driving it, elbow is driving it. So, and using those elbows will also help you have a little more freedom of movement. So butterflies, that was just a few little things. I don't like to overload on information because I know how I get when it's too much. I don't remember anything. So I like to focus on just a couple of things at a time. And, oh, my favorite dance style? How long do I have to think about this? I love a lot of styles. I love ballet, but I love like Latin social dance, which is what I do now, but there's various styles of that. I love ballroom, I love jazz, I love flamenco. I love just kind of musical theater style. I love modern, I never missed anything. I like break dancing. I mean, I can't do it, but I love it. I like hip hop. I like freestyle. If I had 1,000 years to live, I would probably learn all of those, but I don't. So, what are you guys' favorite dances? What do you guys like? What do you love? Because when I do these like pieces, I try and do kind of a fusion and incorporate various styles. But if there's something you guys want to bring into it, then let me know in the comments, because then we can always build that in. Because one thing I've done after I finished my ballet career was kind of opened my horizons in my mind, and I thought, no, I'm not going to have limits on what I do, so I can pretty much incorporate anything. So just let me know, and if you have any questions, you can always message us or want any feedback on anything, and just something to think about those techniques. There should be an email in our contacts, and feel free to write. We also do one-on-one, either through video or in person if you're in the area, which is the Tampa Bay area. And give this a think. Just to recap, we were talking about the square, keeping that square going, shifting your weight forward as you move forward, and we did our arms moving from the elbows, and we also did a little exercise kind of for body movement and relaxations. All right, my Fireflies, I will see you on Wednesday, if not before, because probably be going live again on Tuesday evening, which is tomorrow. I'll be DJing. But that's actually, we've just started that one, so it's not many people, so usually I get up and dance too. I have party one. If nobody else shows, I will be having a good time anyway. But it's a really cool place. It's called Tango Brew Coffee and Wine. It's in Tampa, and it's got a really nice wood floor. And it's just a fun place. It's got a really great vibe there. So I will be seeing you all then. So have a wonderful rest of your day, my Fireflies. Love to you. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.